that it was an outstanding effort throughout the India, everywhere. Even the Jawaharlal Nehru and everyone, even the National Congress, Lucknow, and the National Congress, and also I said that Muslim League, everyone started supported it also. It was a high kind of it. Understood? And any Besant ने एक word कहा था जो मुझे हमेशा याद रहता है, टम टम वाली. Then the Indian language में I am टम टम वाली. I came here to make you wake up. घोड़ा चलता है टम टम टम. And then I came here to make you wake up. And you Indian have a very strong, very good ancient past. So believe on it, wake up. And they try to make you think about Home Rule Movement, Miss Swaraj. Discussing about Swaraj. Home Rule Movement is a kind of what? Swaraj, self-government. Yes or not? And the next Miss to each other, they want what? Self-government. I said that thereafter, but 1917 में जैसे ही Mr. ये आए, and I said that some changes has been taken place, and then any Besant left it, बोली I am happy with this, and बाल गंगाधर तिलक का importance वैसे ही down हो गया as the Gandhi camp, and यहाँ पे militant nationalism was going on, and militant nationalism suddenly he was not able to first militant nationalism, if I am saying that there is no leadership, there is no leadership. It is happening in the form of pockets form. If you see that it is in the form of Anushilan Simati in the Bengal, and then I said that one district में 500 what is it, this kind of committees are there, those who are doing this kind of it, but उनका कोई फायदा नहीं है. They are thinking of throwing the bomb and killing someone and then trying to, इतना बड़ा ब्रिटिश राज को आप कैसे, how can you remove them by throwing the bomb and killing the judges and killing the some what is an officials. अब वो क्या थे, young थे, और जैसे गांधी आए there, and Gandhi is the follower of truth and non-violence, और they are doing suddenly जो support मिल भी रहा था वो भी support finished. So militant nationalism, everything, and the Gandhi become very much important, and then non-cooperation movement come, and non-cooperation इससे पहले क्या आ गया आपका Montague, Secretary of the State, announced in the House of Commons 17th August 1970 that the goal of constitutional advance in India to be what? Gradual development of self-governing institution with a view of progressive realization and responsible government as an integral part of the British Empire. अच्छी लाइन, कितना अच्छा लाइन है. British Empire is also thinking of what? Their India should have a responsible government. And then India is ready for what? Yes, self-government. Yes or not? And it was called Montague Statement, it was called August Statement, it is called August Declaration. You know? Not to be confused with the August offer made by Lord Indigo in 1940. And then Montague Churchill reform in 1980 has led down in the fourfold formula, implement the policy of the first stage. So shall I start with this? Introduction of complete popular control and arrangement of administration in the local bodies, municipalities, taluks and district boards. Means complete popular control of government institutions started coming. They started giving, I said that, introduction of complete popular control and hierarchy of administration. And hierarchy of administration. Complete popular government. And then I control, so municipalities are there, some in the level of there, and there is some taluks, and there is some, there will be a district boards and all. कुछ चीजें रहेंगी जो कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को अरेंजमेंट से दिखाया जाए, and there will be someone who is responsible for it. तभी there will be a possibility of what is a responsible government up to the higher hierarchy. Partial introduction of responsible government. इस तरीके से क्या दिख रहा है? Partial, yes, introduction of, if there is a hierarchy, then every hierarchy, upper hierarchy is responsible for the lower hierarchy. Yes or not? So there is some kind of what? Responsible government in the field of provincial administration. Non, yes, ये किसके अंडर में आएगा? Provincial and all. And then non-introduction of responsible government at the center, but enlargement of Indian Legislative Council and more representation of Indians in it also. Okay? So where there is a looking like some responsible and where there is a looking like not responsible. Not responsible. Provincial we have some elements of responsible, and with the help of what we have seen? Popular control. It means hierarchy of administration, arrangement of administration. One is responsible for the lower administration, lower hierarchy, but at the central level there is जहाँ पे सबसे ज़्यादा जरूरी है, there is no responsible government. Understood? And then I said that there is a representation of Indians started increasing. Relaxation of the control of parliament and the secretary of the state. I said that to an extent the popular government introduced in the provinces. Popular government, just tell me. Popular government introduced into the provinces. Popular must know that is a kind of responsible. These recommendations were given a statutory shape under the 1919 Government of India Act. तो कहाँ पे responsible government दिख रहा है आपको at provincial level? At 1919 Montague changed for reform. Understood it? क्या ये पहले आपको दिखा था? They are under such high pressure? No, they are not in the such high pressure. So they can never think of giving such kind of what? Popular government. Yes or not? It means 1919 is the what? Yes, step for what? Giving popular government at the provincial level. But at central level there is a what? Increase in Indian people. Only this much. इसका मतलब कि who is ultimate power? Governor General. I said that these recommendations were given a statutory shape under the 1919 Government of India Act. And then now we'll see that provincial and other. Provincial में हमने क्या देखा था? Yes, tell me provincial but we have seen diarchy was introduced. Diarchy was what has been introduced? And diarchy means what? Dual government. Understood? And these are the two things are there. Just try to understand in the smaller version. I said that transfer subject and reserve subjects. Which are the two subjects are there? And now, reserved subjects are under the governor and the some council, and then some Indian members are there. Understood? And the ministers are there, and in them they have a transfer subjects. Suppose I said that irrigation is under the reserve subject. Irrigation is under, and then agriculture in the transfer subject. कितना बढ़िया है? दिख रहा है बढ़िया? आप क्रॉप कर रहे हैं, यू नीड वाटर, तो क्रॉपिंग के लिए आप चले जाओगे, ट्रांसफर सब्जेक्ट ने बोला यस सर आई नीड दिस क्रॉप, लेकिन इरिगेशन के लिए किसके पास जाना होगा? एंड हु इज द रिजर्व सब्जेक्ट? गवर्नर. ले भाई इरिगेशन के लिए दौड़ते रहो कोर्ट में, मतलब उन लोगों के पीछे. नेक्स्ट आई सेड दैट इंडस्ट्री इन द ट्रांसफर सब्जेक्ट्स, माइनिंग इन द रिजर्व सब्जेक्ट. बड़ी प्लान करके बनाया था इन्होंने. माइनिंग किसमें डाल दिया? रिजर्व सब्जेक्ट्स. अरे माइनिंग के बगैर वी कांट डू एनीथिंग इन द वाटर इंडस्ट्री. तो उन्होंने कितना गलत काम किया था, देख रहे हो आप? दैट इज एन कंप्लीटली कंफ्यूज्ड दैट द रिजर्व सब्जेक्ट के बगैर ट्रांसफर सब्जेक्ट कैन नॉट सस्टेन. एंड देन नथिंग हैपेंड एंड एट लास्ट डायरकी कंप्लीटली फाउंड टू बी व्हाट? फेल एट प्रोविंशियल लेवल. जबकि छोटी सी चीज है एंड ऑल ब्रिटिशर्स आर नोइंग दैट इट इज एन बकवास. देखते हैं. आई सेड दैट एंड देन और कोई उनके अगेंस्ट भी ज्यादा नहीं बोल सकता है. देयर आर द टू सेट्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, एग्जीक्यूटिव काउंसिल एंड देन एन पॉपुलर मिनिस्टर्स अकाउंटेबल, एंड द गवर्नर वाज द हेड ऑफ द. यस, द लेजिस्लेटिव सब्जेक्ट्स वर डिवाइडेड इन टू लिस्ट, रिजर्व लिस्ट एंड ट्रांसफर. And the reserve list contains subject law, order, finance, land revenue, irrigation, mining, etc. and was administered by the governor with the help of executive council. The governor and the executive council. But other, the transferred list of contains subject education, health, government, public work, excise, industries, waste, measures, agriculture was administered by the ministers nominated by the governor from the elected representative of the legislative council. जो elected हुए उसमें से जो nominate कर देगा, this would be what? Transfer subjects के ministers होंगे. Understood? दिख रहा कितना confusion. The ministers were responsible for the legislature and had to resign if no confirmation was passed by the legislature against them. But that is, in case of failure of constitutional machinery in the province, the governor can take over the administration of the transfer subjects also. मतलब यदि कोई भी चीज हो रहा है, I said that at the problem of transfer level, then suddenly that it will taken over by whom? Who will taken over? Governor. Miss उन्होंने डिसाइड करके तैयार करके रखा था कि दे कांट डू ऑन दिस. हेल्थ के लिए, लोकल गवर्नमेंट के लिए व्हाट दे नीड? यस और नॉट? लोकल गवर्नमेंट के लिए दे नीड, एंड देन बेटर पब्लिक वर्क्स के लिए यू नीड. हाउ डू दे कैन डू? very precisely they have divided the subjects. Very precisely. And they are talking about the minister were to be responsible to the legislature and had to resign if no confidence motion was passed by the legislature against them. But the executive council were not responsible for the legislature. The executive council कहीं पे भी देखे again बेवकूफ बना रहे. Executive council is not responsible. They are responsible. In case of failure of constitutional machinery in the province, the governor can take over the administration of the transferred subjects. Also, further, all ministers held power during the pleasure of the governor. SOS and viceroy would interfere in the respect of reserved subjects, while their scope of interference was limited in the transferred subjects. करेंगे क्यों जाकर? Why do they will do? समझ में आ रहा? आपको ये समझ में मेरा मेन मोटो था. It will not be asked. Do you understand that? Why do the reserved subject? How do they well planned hierarchy? Yes or not? अभी उन्होंने बोला I have given you hierarchy. Yes or not? I have given at the provincial level what? Arrangement of governments. Hierarchy of administration. लेकिन finally आपने देखा hierarchy at the province, it is completely favored the way that you have divided the subject between reserved and reserved subjects in the governor and his executive council, and then it is given to the transfer subject to the Indian members, those who are elected. But उसमें से choose करके आपने किया है, not anyone. You are nominated out of the elected. And finally, there is no match between, they are not supporting to the reserved subject is complete, the transfer subject is completely dependent on. Understood? Provincial Legislative Council was expanded. अभी हम लोगों ने reserved subjects और उनका कैसे काम देखा हमने. That reason I said that provincial government executive side, hierarchy has been there. But what is there? Failure. लेकिन इसमें where the viceroy can interfere, SOS can interfere in the reserved list. Provincial Legislative Council were expanded. 70% of the members were to be elected and 20% members were to be nominated and 10% were to be nominated non-officials. ये data याद कर लेंगे, ध्यान रखिएगा. This data in the Provincial Legislative Council, I said that in the 1919, how many? 70% are elected and 20% are nominated. Who? Officials. And 10% were to be nominated. Yes. And the election was direct. The primary voters elect the members. आपको दिख रहा है यहाँ पे primary. इससे पहले भी आपने क्या देखा था? Primary. But वहाँ पे visible नहीं था. वहाँ पर कैसा दिख रहा था आपको? There is a high level of education. यहाँ पे भी ऐसे ही दिखेगा आपको. And then mischievous communal and class electors were further consolidated. The election was direct. Primary voters elected the members, and the mischievous communal and class elected also it is there in this consolidated form में था. समझते हैं ना mischievous? Constituencies were divided into general and special. आप देखोगे there is some general and one special. General में देखोगे Hindus, Muslim, Christian, Anglo, and then there is a special constituency landlord university. ये करने की क्या जरूरत थी? What is the need to do? What is a landlord के basis पर, universities के basis पे changing them special constituencies? How many members will be there on the basis of it? Simply trying to increase the numbers. इतना है. It will not be, ये दोनों याद रख लेना कि I said that, but it will not be asked like what is the कौन कौन ये है. But the reason I said that some general constituencies and there is some, what is the need of it? क्या आपको लग रहा है कि if I am talking about Christian के लिए अलग से हो जाए, landlords, university, chamber of commerce, इन सभी की constituencies create की जाए? Is it necessary? And how many voters will be there for this and this way? तो हमने क्या कर रहा है? It is looking like ये तो complete division की बात कर रहे हैं. Yes or not? लग रहा है कि there is several constituencies has been created. Yes, general constituency return to what is return Hindus and all, and then special constituency for landlords and all. तो मुझे तो बिल्कुल नहीं समझ में आया कि उनका मोटो क्या था. What is the motto that they try to do? आपको नहीं समझ में आया? मुझे तो नहीं समझ. क्या करना चाह रहे हैं ये लोग? या तो एजुकेटेड नहीं है ये लोग. What they try to do with this general and special constituencies? हाँ? अरे आप बोला जाए, if I am talking about Naxal area में, if I have to make a special constituency, that I can understand. Yes or not? I can understand on the basis there is what some issues are there. But a special constituency, why you are creating? Landlord? Acha, you are favoring landlord. I am not saying that you are favoring landlord. I said that universities. If I need something at the provincial level, I need the representation of the people instead of. वहाँ पे उनके यहाँ representation of the people the same way, but why they are dividing in India? Completely bakwas. Women were also given the right to vote. Chalo. Women has been given. And legislative council could initiate legislation, but governor's assent was required. Legislative council could initiate legislation, but governor. And how many legislative council members are there? 70% elected, 20% non-elected officials, and 10% non-elected, elected non-official, nominated non-officials. Yes. And then, which are the constituencies are there? General constituency and special constituency. And thereafter they said that women has the right to vote. Legislative council could initiate legislation, but governor's assent was required. He could veto bills and issue ordinances. Who? At the provincial level, who can do? Governor. And the legislature enjoy the freedom of speech, right to move resolution,